Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Discover Your Intuitive Self. And I am your host, Brenda Reading. So we are fast approaching Valentine's Day. And so in honor of that, I thought we would talk about love tonight and also a few other things connected to our intuitive self. The first thing I did was I wanted to do a little research on St. Valentine. And I really have to tell you, I was quite shocked to read what I did find out. And according to the information I was looking at, there were at least 3 different Valentines, okay, men that were Valentine. And they were all martyred, okay. One was in the 3rd century. He was a priest, and he was marrying couples in secret because the Emperor Claudius II had decided that single men would make better soldiers. So he outlawed marriage for young men. Of course, he was put to death. The second Valentine, he also may have been killed for helping others because he was helping Christians escape the harsh Roman prisons. The third Valentine, he also was killed. While he was imprisoned, he had penned a letter to a young girl that he had fallen in love with and signed it from your Valentine. And then I also read, in an attempt to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia, this is on February 15th. It is a fertility festival. And I'm not going to talk about what they do on that fertility festival on this show. So if you want to learn more about it, it's called Lupercalia, all right? But in the 5th century, the Pope declared the 14th St. Valentine's Day. So I just thought you'd like to know that little tidbit. And the reason I kind of want to talk about that is, like everything else in our life, you kind of have to wonder why things are the way they are, right? And ask yourself, as my friend and very good bestie friend Barb says, is that true, right? So I thought, well, I got to find out a little bit more about St. Valentine's Day. And, is it really about the cupids and the hearts? No, it is not. Anyways, we are also tonight going to talk about love and how it transcends space and time. Love, as you know, because we've talked about it on this show, and I'm sure you felt it yourself, is one of the highest vibrational energy there is. And in order to elevate our intuitive gifts and heighten our spiritual gifts, it is very important that we elevate our energy, because everything is energy. So love, being one of the highest vibrations that there is a fabulous way to help elevate our intuition. I'm going to tell you a story, another snippet of spirit, as I call it. So, which is an example of how love transcends space and time. Years ago, Lily Dale Assembly, the Church of the Living Spirit, has a beautiful fundraiser in the summertime. And in this fundraiser, they have a basket auction, and they have healings, and they have mini readings. And so people come to partake and get mini readings in Lilydale for that fundraiser. And I was going to offer my services to help in this fundraiser. And as I was driving the windy back road, which is also wooded, to Lilydale, I was thinking about at the time how my spirit guides were going to work with me that night, because I was asking them to be very specific and give me really good information in a short amount of time, because These were mini 15-minute readings, okay? And if you've caught any of the shows in the past, I had mentioned that some of my spirit guides thought it was funny to present information in the form of Disney characters or comic strip characters or funny songs. So I was asking them as I was driving by myself in the car to please be, more specific and easy to understand for the purpose of this event. So, not shortly after that, I saw the image of Popeye the Sailor Man in my mind's eye. And I thought, well, that didn't work because they're giving me Popeye the Sailor Man. And I could now hear the song, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot toot, right? Anyways, so I thought, okay, I wonder who this is going to be for tonight. Because as you know, I've told you before that I often get messages and symbols from my clients before the reading even begins. So I got to Lilydale and we went through all the different readings, and it was like a 2-hour, 3-hour evening. And my very last reading of the night was this little tiny older woman. And I feel that she was probably close to 80 years old. And she was all dressed up. And she sat in front of me. And I started to give her the reading. And wouldn't you know it, Popeye the Sailor Man was back. And I thought, okay, so this is who it was for this night, right? Popeye is back. So I described the message to the little lady in front of me. And as I described what I was seeing, her face lit up. And she said, well, that was so many years ago. I think I know who it could be. But could it really be? And I asked her to explain to me a little more about what Popeye the Sailor Man meant to her. And she told me that night that as a young woman, she had fallen in love with a Navy sailor. And they were quite sweet on each other. And unfortunately, he left to go off to serve, and he never came back. And the fact that he showed up for her probably 50 years later was amazing to me. I didn't ask her if he had shown up before for her in any type of reading. I could kind of tell by the look on her face that this may have been the first time, because it was just total like, and then when she realized who it was just so sweet and bittersweet at the same time. But she was so happy that he had come to say something to her and that he remembered her and that his love was still there for her all that time later. And so I always felt that this was an amazing example, at least to me, of how love is something that knows no space. It knows no time. It's just always. And I think when we talk about love in this manner, clients will ask me, do you think he remembers me? Do you think they have forgotten about me? Do you think they know how much I love them? And as I speak to you in this moment, I am looking across my own dining room, and I see a picture of my own father looking right back at me with the big smile on his face and his twinkling eyes. And I know that the answer to those questions are yes. They still love us. They don't forget us because love knows no boundaries. So on this Valentine's Day show, I wanted to share that with you. So, okay, love for other people, that is fabulous. But what about love for ourselves? Can we be our own Valentine? Well, I think I would like to say yes. Today, is a new moon, and it is also the beginning of the Chinese New Year, the year of the ox. What an auspicious day to set our intentions for self-love, to honor our true selves. Now, you may say, oh, I don't think I need this. I'm pretty good to myself. But let me ask you a few questions. You can think about this. Do you spend much of your time filled with should do's for other people? How much of what you do every day is because you feel you should do it? Whether it's how you were raised, whether it's you've taken on responsibilities, whether it's your own religion, whatever it is, how much time of your day do you spend doing things because you feel you should do them? How about, do you focus on the needs of others at your own expense? I think we all do that at times. It's just the nature of being caring people and having families and helping other people. But how often does it occur for you? Do you spend much of your time and energy concerned with what others feel and think? Are you more worried about what others are going to think as opposed to how you feel about something? So if these questions struck a nerve in you or made you go, and you're thinking about them, you may wish to participate in this exercise. Now, like I've told you in the past, if you're driving right now, you can't do this exercise. So you can just listen to it again later when you can get home and sit in your comfy chair. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this new moon energy to set our seeds of self-love. And we are going to use our intuition to help us. Now, if you're thinking, oh my goodness, maybe you're watching this episode 2 days from now and you're like, oh, I missed it. Can't do it now. No, we have 48 hours with the new moon to do this intention setting. But it happens every month. There's a new moon every month. Okay. So don't feel lost if you miss this. You can do it. Actually, you can set intentions anytime. Okay. So what I would suggest is that if you're going to do this new moon intention setting, you find a place to sit in the quiet. And some people like to have crystals around them. Some people like to have gemstones or a certain type of incense or essential oils while they do their intention setting. You can do some, all, or none of that. You can make this process as simple or complicated as you wish to make it. The point is that you're doing it. So I am going to show you one way to start your exercise of intention setting. Okay? So let's just say we're in our comfy chairs and it's in the quiet, and you've decided to do whatever it is that makes you feel good about it. First, we're going to take a few deep breaths, just like when we do meditation. And they're grounding breaths. You just feel yourself connected to the earth. Feels good. And then, because this is a ritual type of thing, we're going to use an intention prayer. So I'm going to give you an example of my intention prayer, because I did this morning. You can make your own intention prayer, okay? But I'm going to give you mine. Father, Mother, God, Infinite Spirit, I ask you to make me a clear and perfect channel for the wisdom to set my self-love intentions. I ask for this or something better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. So that's pretty simple prayer, right? You just ask to be clear, to receive the wisdom, and it's important that you state for this or something better, for the highest and best good of all. Okay? Then, after you've said your prayer, you take a couple more deep breaths. And then you can ask Spirit in your mind, out loud, whichever you prefer, to show you, I would say, show me an area in my life where I can be better at self-love. And then you allow Spirit to do its work. And you use any of your intuitive gifts that you wish. You may see a picture of what it is that you need to focus on in your mind's eye. You may feel something. You may hear something. For me, the first thing I heard this morning was declutter. So I wrote that down. Just really quickly, I wrote declutter. And then I centered myself again, and I asked Spirit, please show me another area in my life where I can love myself better. And then I saw, enjoy your life more. Now, I have to tell you, I mean, I have been enjoying myself pretty much, especially with the show and doing the teaching, and I watch my grandchildren, and I do miss my friends terribly. And with COVID, we have been, restricted. But I'm sure that I can find things that for self enjoyment, if I worked on it a little more. We probably all can. So I wrote that down. So far I have declutter and enjoy my life more. So then I went back in again, centered myself, took a deep breath, and I asked Spirit again, please show me another area in my life where I can love myself better. And then a big one came up for me. Setting boundaries for my own time. As I saw the calendar, I saw it laid out in front of me and all the dates that I have marked off for all of the commitments that I've made to other people, whatever they may be. And then, it was like blaring. It's like, set better boundaries for your time. because we all have things we want to accomplish. And for me, I have quite a few things that are on my plate at this point. And so I thought, that's a big one. It's a big one for me. So I wrote that down. And then I went in one more time, because so far I had 3 pretty big ones, I thought, in regards to what my intentions were. So I went back in one last time and I asked the question again, Spirit, show me one more area in my life where I can love myself better. And I heard, move your body more, physical movement. And then I thought to myself, you know what? You're right. It's been winter here. I haven't really gone out that much as far as walking or anything like that. I thought, that's a good one. I could love myself better by having more movement of my physical body. And so I wrote that down too. Now, my suggestion is, if this is your first time for setting intentions, we don't want to get so many that it becomes a chore, right? You want to be able to feel good about what you've accomplished in the month. So my suggestion is that you don't do more than 5, okay, your first time. But as with everything we talk about, it's totally up to you, okay? You can have as many intentions as you wish. So now that we have these written down quickly, because you're still kind of in this state, right? You're in this semi-meditative state. You don't want to take so much time at the moment when you're doing this to elaborate on stuff. You just want to jot it down quickly and get back into the zone, as I call it, right? And when you're doing these questions, when you ask Spirit, it's not for you to think about, okay? It's for Spirit to help you use your intuition. Once you start thinking about what you think you need to do, you've popped into the other side of your brain, and now it's not so much your connection between Spirit and you, it's your own monkey mind telling you what you need to do. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're asking Spirit, show me something that I could do to help love myself better, don't start thinking about the things. Just sit in the quiet and let it come to you, okay? And it should happen relatively quickly. It shouldn't take a long time. Now, the other thing is, even if you only get one thing, okay? Even if you only get one area that you need to hone in on, that's fine, okay? The point is that you're doing it. So now we get to the point where we've got these little notes that you wrote quickly. Now we have to take those and write those ideas in the form of a statement, okay? So the first one for me would go something like this. I am decluttering my environment. Start the statement with the 2 words, I am. So my next one would be, I am enjoying my life. And my third one, if you remember, was setting boundaries for my time. So my statement would be, I am setting boundaries with my time. And then the fourth one would be, I am moving my physical body more. So I have these 4 intentions, and then I say, and so it is. And just like any time we work with Spirit, we always end our session with a thank you, with gratitude to Spirit for working with us. So you say your gratitude prayer. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, Father, Mother, God, whatever you say, for working with me and helping me to set my intentions to help me love myself better. And so it is. And then your process is done. And then throughout the month, you can review your statements and see how you're doing. And I would think that any progress is a good thing. So don't judge yourself too harshly if things are taking a little longer than you would like them to. Okay? And sometimes these intentions are so big that they take months to accomplish, right? It's like it takes a while to get things out of whack. It takes a while to get them back into alignment, right? So be kind to yourself with these intentions that you're setting. So that is our intention setting on the new moon and the beginning of Chinese New Year for tonight. So I would like to just call your attention to a couple things coming up. Next week, when we meet, I am going to be talking about divination tools. Tools that help people connect with their intuitive gifts. And this Sunday, I'm doing the Meditation and Message Circle with Santosha Holistic Center. Check out my Facebook page, Brenda Reading, Spiritual Healer, Medium Teacher link for more information. So everyone, have a great Valentine's week. Take time for the good, and I'll see you next time.